These are the aggrieved relatives of the kidnapped victims of the March 28th Kaduna train attack. Since the incident occurred, they've been meeting regularly to discuss as a group and also get updates on the way forward for the release of their loved ones. The looks on their faces clearly defines the pain and trauma they are passing through. The group had earlier given the federal government a 72-hour ultimatum to rescue the victims. The ultimatum has now expired, and now they have a message for the government.
We are grateful to God that before the expiration of the 72 hours, we heard from the federal government after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday through the Minister of Information that the government is already in dialogue. They are already on top of the situation with what has happened, that the government is already discussing with the abductors of our relatives. So we are happy about that. We have noted it, we acknowledge it, and we appreciate their effort in this regard. What we want to add is that the government should speed up this process of discussion with them so that they can come out, released very soon. This is our appeal now.
The bandits have spoken with some relatives of the abductees, but without making any specific demand, an indication that perhaps the bandits have a score to settle with the government rather than the victims. This is a source of concern for their families.
I've spoken to the bandits. I was one of the first guys that spoke with them. I've spoken with them 11 times. And aside me, I don't think any other person has done that. 11 times. And what did they say? The first instance, they said they had their targets on that train. That it weren't our parents and sisters or brother that they aimed at. But these were just, in quote, necessary evil they had to do with them. And what did they tell me? That the governor has been running his mouth. And that's why they came to his doorstep. And this is just the beginning.
We're begging the government to think about it. We have lives over there in the bush. We don't know how they're living. We don't know what they eat. This is a rainy season. At least let's think about this thing. Let's be conscious, at least for once.
NRC should not be talking about reopening their services now when our people are still in captivity. Because what is the assurance that if they start services now, that people that will board the trains are safe? What measures have they put in place to guarantee the security of people that will patronize their services? So it is not, and we don't want a reoccurrence. If they do, we are not going to take it lightly with them.
It's been 18 days of nightmare for these people whose relatives are still with their abductors. As it stands, all they can do now is pray, hope, and urge the government to facilitate the rescue of their loved ones.